How to beat the man. Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to the Orange Office in Grants Pass, Oregon. Today we're going to be talking about how to beat the man. In other words, the big guy. The one that's in charge, the one that seems to be running things, the big corporate giant, whoever it is. If you're a business person, you're in a specific industry, chances are you're not at the tip top of that industry. There's bigger people that tend to have their sway over the marketplace and can sometimes be the bane of your existence if you're dealing with any form of competition whatsoever, even if it's just a subtle competition from Amazon.com like we've discussed in the past. There's a way that you can handle that. And someone that put it in a really good way is this fellow here. His name's Andy Brennan. Andy Brennan, I got to interview recently on the Off the Grid Biz podcast. You can listen to it at offthegridbiz.com. If you check the description, you'll see the link going directly to Andy's podcast episode. He is a co-owner in Burr, Cider. He is the writer of Uncultivated, a new book that's been out. You can go and check that out. His claim to fame is creating cider out of wild apples. He's from New York State. He has a whole interesting story that you really ought to go and listen to. But one of the points he makes towards the end of the interview, he discusses how there's one thing that the big guys really can't do when it comes to competition. And there's a whole bunch of ways to beat out competition. I have a whole series of videos regarding the 9 different ways of how to beat Amazon at their own game. You go and find those wherever you're watching these videos. You could scroll back and find those. Just type in Amazon and see if you can find it. But he mentions a way that ties into a lot of the ways that I have in terms of how to beat out competition. And I think it's one of the major ones. And it comes down to relationships. Having one-on-one relationships with your customer base is so huge, it's so enormous, and it's one of those things that larger companies just can't do. Even if they could wrap their mind around it, I'm not sure they would. I don't think they understand how important it is. If you're able to do this, you can lock in the loyalty from your customers, and it's in a perfectly organic way. It's not like you're doing it just to lock them in and to keep hold of your customers. But even if you were, you'd be able to do that if you focused on the relationship that you have with them versus just the product or what they're getting out of the product or service that you provide. Get to know the person. Treat them like a human being. You will beat out everybody else if you're able to get in physical proximity to them. Whether you have to travel or not, do it. Find a way. Throw a convention on. Go to a convention where your customers are already hanging out or where your proposed customers hang out. Get to know them, meet them, let them see you as a person. Put yourself out there as a person. Write a book like Andy did and put yourself out there as a person. Be vulnerable in that sense. By doing that, you can beat out the big guys because they're never going to do that. They really won't. They could if they really wanted to, but they're not going to. And they won't be able to do it with as much finesse as you can do being scaled down, smart company. So, with that in mind, if you are in the self-reliance field, if you help people either through your products, your service, or the message that surrounds it to be more self-reliant, you're someone I'd like to talk to. Go to dreambizchat.com. At dreambizchat.com, there's an 8.5-minute video. Go and watch it. Find out more about what the Dream Business Transformation is. It's a completely free process, but I'd like to find out what you think about that video and find out about what we're offering there completely for free for business owners and executives in the self-reliance field. That's all we got for today. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about Let me see if I can remember. Hold on, it's coming, it's coming. Another person that I interviewed on the Off the Grid Biz podcast. It's going to be a brand new one. It's not even out right now, but it will be out tomorrow. And she has a secret on how to handle adversity, how to look at adversity and handle it in your business. If you're able to handle it the way that she does, in the way that she describes, you're a winner in my book, and you're the type of person that I like to do business with, and I know there's other people that will think the same thing. So be sure and show up tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.